Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us all this truth true well. I wanted to go into Revelations 13, just kind of going over certain precepts, certain things. So I went on Google and I typed in microchip implant, all right, which is on humans. And just reading off of Wikipedia, all right, it says a human microchip implant, which we believe to be the MOTB, okay, says is any electronic device implanted subdermally or subcutaneously. All right, so we'll look up that word implanted, instill, insert or fix tissue or an artificial object in a person's body, especially by surgery. Okay. So it says examples include an identifying select integrated circuit, which is the RFID, radio frequency identification chip. It says device encased in silicate glass, which is implanted. Again, that word implanted means to insert, okay, surgically in the body of a human being. This type of subdermal implant usually contains a unique ID number. So when you look up that word unique, it means distinctive, remarkable. And they have here under adjective as well, being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else. Okay, so every single implant or every single RFID is unique to the other one. Okay, so that means if one person had it, nobody else is going to have an ID like that one. Okay, they're all unique. Okay, uni means one, you see, so it's only one, being the only one of its kind, you see. It says ID number that can be linked to information contained in an external database. Okay, so you're going to be linked up basically like that movie Matrix. You're linked up to the Matrix. Okay, that's what's going to tie you back to the system. And in the system, it's going to say John Doe went to the doctor 10/21/2021 at 5 o'clock, and he was diagnosed with the C19. And at 11 o'clock, John Doe, or whatever time, got the max, okay, and then he got his second shot 2 weeks later, or whatever the case is, man. All of that stuff is going to be updated into the system, okay? So it's linked to an information contained in an external database, you see? So it's not going to be internal to yourself only, but external to the government, you see? Such as personal identification. You see, a personal thing means it only belongs to you. Okay, same thing with your cell phone. Your cell phone is similar to the chip implant. Okay, the RFID, radio frequency identification. That chip that you have on your phone is similar because you don't have multiple phones that work the same way, right? That one's special to you. It has your information. You pay the bill for your information, not for somebody else's, right? So it says to information contained in an external database such as personal identification, law enforcement, okay, so your records, medical history, okay, and medical history, what do we have going on right now? All right, in this time, October 21, 2021, this Thursday, what do we have going on in this time? All right, nationwide, worldwide, okay, that has to link us to law enforcement, medical history, medications and allergies, and contact information. What do we have going on in this world that links everything to that? Okay, That's how we find out the prophecies, man. We don't go off of prophecies and say that these prophecies, represent something stupid. We're taught these things, through our elders, our apostles, through the brothers, for a reason, okay? And that's to prevent, all right, from what's coming. So it says, and by the way, the RFID was first trialed on animals, okay? And after it was trialed on animals for a while, and they saw that it was, safe enough, according to Esau standards, not according to the Most High, to be used on humans. Okay, so now you have humans that are using these chips. Okay, and some of them don't know, some of them do, some of them don't care. All right, what the purpose of it all is. So it says the application, when you go down here, application for the microchip implants that are encapsulated in silicate glass, there exist multiple methods to embed the device, obturaneously ranging from placing the microchip implant in a syringe. Okay, let's look up syringe. A tube with a nozzle. Okay, now if you go Revelations 13, let's get a couple scriptures on that. Revelations 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or their foreheads. Now, who is that he? This whole chapter talks about that he. Okay? Which is Esau Edom. Point blank period. To get straight to the point, it's Esau Edom. That's the he. Okay? He's the devil. We all know he's the devil. He knows he's the devil. When they attacked the Native Americans, they used to call them the white devils. Okay? Because they knew. So it says, that word, again in 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, when you go into that word mark, it's charagma, all right, in the Greek, which means, let's look it up here, a stamp. A stamp is something you press down with great force, something imprinted, okay? It's to press down with great force. Now, in order to press down this chip with great force, you have to use a syringe, right? It's how you imprint. It says, of a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge, okay, which when you look up that word badge, it's a pin or an emblem, okay? It's not representing an actual badge like down here, okay, that you have to wear as a symbol of being part of Esau. This badge is a distinct emblem worn as a mark of office or membership, okay? So that chip is going to be inside you as a membership of Esau Edom. Licensed employment. You see, achievement. It says a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. And that word Antichrist is split into two words. Anti, which means against, opposed to, okay? And Christ, which really is anointed. Salak. The title, also treated as a name, which is not true, but it's the title that it really represents, which means Messiah. So being anti-Messiah, which is this whole system that the beast has set up, NATO, the EU, okay, under Esau Edom, all this anti-Messiah system that has been set up, okay, especially Esau Edom, when he tries to implement the RFID. Okay, so that charagma means of a stamp mark on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah, thing carved. When you look at the word carved, it means sculpt, engrave, of a hard material, cut or engraved to produce an object, design, or inscription. Okay? It means to cut, right? Because you have here in Spanish, you have the verb cortar, which means to cut. Okay? Again, how are you going to cut into the body? With that syringe. You see? It's the same thing of idolatrous images. Okay? And that little idol, which is going to be the RFID, That idol is going to be used as a representation of a badge, okay, or of being in fellowship with the devil, okay. So that's what the charagma means. It's an imprinted mark, right? Something that's pressed down with great force onto your skin. So the root word, the etymology, is charax, which is what? A pail or a stake. Okay, and that steak is not spelled like the food steak. Okay, this is stake, which is a post. A strong wooden or metal post with a point at one end driven onto the ground to support a tree, or it's driven into, the skin of a person. That's a stake. It says a metal worker's small anvil, typically with a projection for fitting into a socket on a bench. All right, so you can see what that stake is, which is the same thing that we see here, the syringe. A tube with a nozzle and piston or bulb for sucking in and injecting liquid in a thin stream, used for cleaning wounds or body cavities, so on and so forth, which is also what they use for the Max, the C19. So you go to that word stake, and that's what comes up, a wooden or metal post. All right, so a stake or a palisade. And that palisade is what you make the fences out of. When you look at the metal fence, that post that is put in there is, symbolic, like the syringe, So it's a stake or a palisade, something that pierces, right? So you have a palisade or a rampart, pales between which earth, stone, trees, and timbers are heaped and packed together. So you go to the word grapho, right? And that's the next part of this over here, going back up to this. That word grapho, which, graph, the root word of the graph, all right, a good graph, has that word grapho in it, which is to write with reference to the form of the letter, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, of other material, to write with reference to contents of the writing, which is going to be based off of what? Your information. So that the RFID, which is the mark of the beast, also has grapho, which is one of the root words, which would include information. Okay? You see, because you go down here to B, to commit to writing things not to be forgotten, write down record. All right? When something goes on record, all right, a thing constituting a piece of evidence about the past, especially an account kept in writing. You see? And this is all stuff that was taught to us, man, through our elders and apostles at Great Millstone. So when you go to that microchip implant, you have linked to information contained in an external database, such as personal identification, law enforcement, medical history, medications, allergies, and contact information. We go back to the Blue Bible app, and it tells you the same thing, record, all right, which is the word, something that is written down from the past, okay, your records, all right, of an account kept in writing. You see? So something that's written down in writing, a record of things. You see? So that's what that word grapho goes to, So going back to the charagma, okay, which is the mark that was printed, all right, mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, okay. This is something that is going to be given, all right, to men, to women, to children, okay, in order to fall in order with the beast system, all right. And that was under application. So it has, it shows you how, what it's there for, it's used by a syringe, so you go down There was another one. Popular usage. All right, and that goes into the next part here, Revelations 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, there was these guys, BOW, that were saying this is talking about tariffs that the U.S. puts on other nations so they don't buy or sell, which is false, okay? Because, you know, even though the U.S. does put tariffs and things of that nature, and then they escalate it to where they're completely cut off, they can still buy and sell within that country. So it makes no sense, okay? It makes no sense. The beast, the mark of the beast is not getting the tariff, okay? That's not the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is a physical, tangible object, which actually is another part. Let me go to it. When you go to that word mark, all right, which is charagma, it's lock. Oh, let me go back again. That word mark, or mark, which is charagma, when you go to the usage in a sentence, it's an accusative singular noun. Okay? It's an accusative noun. Now, you know, when you get into a little bit into English and things of that nature, you know, you become to know what a verb is, what a noun is. A noun is a person, place, or a thing. An accusative noun is a specific thing, all right? A specific, tangible, physical thing. That's an accusative noun. A verb, you have verbs that are action words, right? Like running, that's a verb, you know, because it's something you can do. So when you go to accusative, it'll give you the definition, which says an accusative case refers to the case used for a noun or pronoun that is a direct object. Okay? It's a direct object. It's not an imaginary one. It's not a spiritual object. It's a direct, physical, tangible object that the beast is going to bring out, which is the MOTB. All right, which is the RFID chip. It says, an example: his disciples came up to show him the buildings of the temple. You see, it wasn't a spiritual temple that they were showing him. It's a physical, tangible thing, something you can touch. Okay? So, the charagma, the mark, is a physical, tangible, direct object. Okay? Actually, let me look up that word object to see if I can. Object. A thing, a target, a material thing that can be seen or touched. Point blank, period. Okay? So the RFID is a materialistic thing. You see? Materialistic thing. So, anyways, continuing on verse 17. And no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. And there's that word charagma again, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right? So any Israelite that takes it is not going to be saved. Now, let's say that an Edomite does not take the mark of the beast. Okay, let's say an Edomite doesn't take it. Is that Edomite going to be saved? No. Okay? That Edomite is still not going to be saved because he has the name of the beast. Okay? So it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, when you go into that Wikipedia and you go to popular usage for the microchip implant, it says access cards, payment cards, cryptocurrency wallet, and travel cards. Okay? And what are they doing right now? You cannot leave so-and-so place or travel on this place or travel to that place if you do not have the max. You see? So everything is set there for a reason, man. You know? So for you to say that the MOTB is Christianity is false. For you to say that the MOTB is philosophy is false. You can't physically pay with philosophy, right? And that's what we see in Revelations 13 and 17. and that no man might buy or sell. So how are you going to sell or buy here in the United States with tariffs? That has nothing to do with our payments and how we make payments and how we buy things, man. And let's say, for instance, okay, you had a garage sale, right? Let's say, for instance, you had a garage sale. So you're selling stuff, that you don't want anymore in a garage sale. How are you going to have that other person, that other party, pay for something? Are they going to show you their Christianity card, philosophy card? No, man, it's a physical, tangible thing. Access cards, payment cards, cryptocurrency wallet, travel cards. You can transfer money. You see? Of this new system that's being brought up. Because the paper is being made worthless. So they're coming up with new ways and a new currency that they're going to try and implement. Okay? And it's going to be done through the RFID. It says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is Chi Shai Stigma, 600 Okay, and a score is 20. So when you go into the 666, unlike the elders in Great Millstone, Dallas, broke it down. Okay, it goes into a couple things, about the Chai, the Shai, and the Stigma. There's a couple things that go into it. One thing that I saw, which is when you see down here, it looks like a CHX with a big S. That CH, all right, is, let me see if you can see it here. So I can kind of show that CHX, all right, when you go back to Revelation 16 or even 17 on the word charagma, all right, which is the root word being charax. That's that CH. Okay? Because when you go back to the 666, again, the Chai, the Shai, and the Stigma, and you look at how it's written in the Greek, it's the same thing. The Chai, the Shai, and the Stigma. The Chai, the Shai would be, go back over here, Salak. The Chai, the Shai is the beginning of the word of the Karax and the end of the word of the Karax. All right? You have the Chai, and then you have the Shai. You see? Which is to impale a palisade, right? And the Stigma, which I believe was, let me see. Go back. Stigma, where is it at? That's Father. Salak. It says 4742. Okay, which is as a cross. So it's actually down here. Stigma. All right, which is a stick. You see? From primary, stizo, which is a stick, which is to what? To prick. You see? That's how you mark. A mark pricked. And what's going to be pricked? The RFID, man. So by this time, man, if anybody's teaching that the RFID chip is not the mark of the beast, all right, then you're going off. All right, you're going all the way off. All right, you're leading people astray. So I hope that was edifying. And with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Shalom.